Hello again, friends. Matt with Eddie's Guitars coming to you as always from St. Louis, Missouri, and we have got a fresh guitar for you folks to check out today. In fact, this is a brand new model from our good friends at Taylor Guitars. Of course, I am referring to the Gold Label 814E, and if you've been following Taylor Guitars or following these brand new Gold Label models, you might know that there's a couple different variations out there. Today we're lucky enough to be taking a look at the Honduran Rosewood version of this guitar, and I'm very excited about this model. The 814E Gold Label model has several brand new innovations from Taylor Guitars. The first of which, and perhaps the most recognizable, is the actual body shape of this guitar. Now, this body shape is certainly based closely on the tried and true, very recognizable Grand Auditorium shape from Taylor Guitars. This is a slightly larger variation on that Grand Auditorium, aptly named the Super Auditorium, a great name for a really great looking body shape here. Really nice, especially with no cutaway there. Just has a very classic look, I think. The top that they've started with here is a Torrefied Sitka spruce top, and you can immediately appreciate that nice golden glow that torrefaction process gives this nice spruce top here. I love the binding theme on this guitar. The body has that grained ivory body binding, and all the purfling details on this guitar are really exquisite. You can see some ivory on end purfling adjacent to some really intricate wood purfling right inside that grained ivory binding, and they've matched a very similar theme to that purfling around the rosette here, but also including a generous abalone ring around that rosette. Really luxurious looking, and right inside the actual rim of the sound hole, I love that they bound that as well. Again, just totally completing the aesthetics of that entire package there. The pickguard is another really instantly recognizable feature of this guitar. The first I've ever seen quite like it, certainly on a Taylor guitar. It's actually a 2-ply design. The under layer that you can't see a whole lot of there is grained ivory, so the same material as the binding itself, matching it perfectly, I tell you. That top layer, of course, as you can see very clearly, is a layer of tortoiseshell binding, and they laminate those two together and carve out this beautiful little relief there for those continental inlay shapes right in the bottom of that pickguard. Just a super classy touch, and giving you that nice kind of backlit looking presentation there for those shapes to be cut out there. Back and sides of this guitar, as I mentioned, are a beautiful set of Honduran Rosewood. I love Honduran Rosewood. This is a really interesting set in that it has the Simon's 4-piece wedge, and so what we've got here is a almost double book matched set of Honduran Rosewood here that allows them to use slightly smaller pieces of rosewood, but then they match them all together in a book match fashion, so you have this beautiful, coherent, and consistent appearance to this wood. Really nice. Even onto the sides of the guitar, really a beautiful glow to this luxurious rosewood. All the way up on the headstock, we can see that beautiful West African Crelicam ebony veneer on the face of the headstock. I love that brand new, yet somehow old school looking Taylor logo. Just has an old vibe to it. Right in the center of the headstock, you'll see that mother of pearl continental inlay, really beautiful in the context of this guitar, again tying in with a lot of the other shapes on the guitar. I love those antiqued chrome Godot 510 tuning machines and the ebony buttons that they have put on there. We also have the standard 1 3/4 inch nut width, as well as the standard 25.5 inch scale length on this guitar. Another West African Crelicam ebony fingerboard with those matching continental mother of pearl inlays on the face of the fingerboard there. I've got to say, I love the use of Honduran rosewood that they've used down here on the bridge instead of the more commonly seen ebony. Not only does the Honduran Honduran Rosewood really coordinate beautifully with the Honduran Rosewood back and sides, of course, but just the functionality of this bridge. If you know anything about this rosewood, you'll see marimba bars being made out of this. It's an incredibly resonant, sustain driven wood for sure. Not quite as dampening in its effects as, say, like your more traditional ebony. So we're talking a really resonant piece of wood in a very important place of the guitar in terms of resonance, vibration, sustain, all of that. So under the hood, equally important, we have a brand new bracing design. This is the fanned V-class bracing design with the tonal route. This is essentially a lighter weight bracing system than the first iteration of V-class bracing. And this allows for a bit more bloom in the sustain and a bit more effortless responsiveness when you're really going after it. Strumming and even playing very lightly on the guitar remains very responsive to a very light attack. Electronics wise, there's nothing to complain about in this guitar at all. It is stage ready, whether that's a great big stage or just playing at your local coffee house. We've got the LR Bags Element VTC electronics on this guitar. It's as simple as plugging it in, getting your levels set, and you're good to go. It's a great sounding pickup. Nice thing about it too is it doesn't have a whole bunch of extra obvious controls all over the guitar. If you're not plugged in, you almost wouldn't know that the guitar has electronics at all, which I like just as much. So definitely a nice touch. We are dying to take a listen to this brand new Taylor model. We can't wait to do so now. Well, that sure didn't disappoint, did it? Great sounding guitar. I'm curious to hear from you folks. Can you hear the new fanned V-class bracing system with the tonal route in this guitar? I know that's not the only new thing that we're hearing, but along with that Super Auditorium body, the new bracing system, and of course this wonderful combination of tone woods, I'm curious what your take on the sound of this guitar is. Is it a new, fresh sound to your ears from Taylor Guitars? Leave it in the comments below. We'll see you all next time.